But you can't include this. I was vaping.
It's worse than that. It's like I'm applauding you vaping.
No.
I'm just gonna put a censor bar over you. It's fine.
No, YouTube's gonna, because it checks like the first 2 minutes, I think. You can't.
I thought it was 30 seconds.
No, it's a bit more.
Oh.
The further you go into the video, the like.
I think there's like a lot of YouTubers that I need to message and inform of that, because everyone I watch that follows that stuff is like 30 seconds and it's fine. Here's a No, I don't watch a bunch of people that put in there.
I feel like you need to censor that word as well. YouTube's really sensitive with stuff like, I'm gonna list off things that you have to censor, right? As well.
It's gonna be great content. It's gonna be great content because it's just gonna be you going then a bleep, and then you're going and then a bleep.
That's pretty much how this is gonna go, yeah.
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 Are you gonna do your intro?
Was that not the intro? Hey, this podcast is back. Episode 3. Today's topic.
What the dog doing?
Wasn't that the last episode's topic by the end? Like a little bit?
Yeah.
Like a little bit?
Yeah. Because closer to the end of the recording, I usually go nuts.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, like when you record like stuff, you get really tired, like closer to the end.
Yeah, I know.
And then you start saying just the weirdest stuff ever.
Yeah.
That's why I don't stream. I would get cancelled in seconds.
I've started like doing the second channel stuff, and I actually like misspeak and just cannot form coherent sentences at the beginning of the recording, at the end of a recording. The middle part is fine, and it's great. I put shorts out of that. Everything at the beginning and at the end sucks, and at the also sometimes I get sweaty at the end of a recording, like extremely sweaty to the point where I'm like, I might have a fever. Is that normal? I guess.
Remember I had that like one fanfiction review.
Mm-hmm.
I was like sweating the entire time. But in my defense, I was wearing a cape from a cosplay.
Oh yeah.
But in the middle of that recording, I was like, I'm taking it off. But I was still like, it was winter, and I had like, the windows fully open. I was still, because I'm stressed every time I record.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gotten over that. Because my microphone messed up, and today I didn't get to record that much, and I looked at some old recordings because I remembered that I did that 2 microphone bits in one of my first Kickstarter weekly videos. Yes, with this mic, where I was like, look, I have 2 microphones and that's the bit. I was so unbearably awkward in those first videos, and people were pointing it out in the comments like, relax, dude, just chill. And I've gotten over that, except I started playing a recording Dark Messiah Might and Magic, and that game is hard as it's been 2 minutes. Hard as fuck. I lost to the same section of like 3 guys like 5 times in a row, and I got genuinely sweaty. Like, people are gonna fucking hate this part of the video. They're gonna hate this. No one's gonna watch 5 minutes of me fumbling around with these dudes. But then again, then I started kicking them downstairs repeatedly, and it was pretty fun. So
what was the topic for this?
I think you wanted to do something about cosplay, but at the same time, I feel like we had a conversation about cosplay for an hour before we recorded.
No.
No?
Last time, when we recorded the podcast, we kept saying, oh, that's for the next episode, and then the next episode never came. We wanted to make a episode about just like cosplaying experiences, like going to events and stuff. Anything outside of pretty much the conversations that we had beforehand that were like way too serious about like grooming and the online safety and...
I got my ass touched in cosplay without my consent once.
Well, we'll get to that. First off, I was actually thinking about like what questions specifically we could answer. What was the first time you cosplayed? Like, how did you get...
Remember that time when I was just hanging around in front of your booth, dressed as Ruka from Steins Gate in the kimono, and being extremely awkward and uncomfortable? Yeah, that was my first time cosplaying.
Okay, how did you get to that?
This is gonna give you the exact date when this happened, because I had saved up a bit of money, and the way I had saved up a bit of money was by investing in Doge. So the money I had saved up, I took like $150 back out of it, and I put that into and I was like, I'm gonna do some femboy shit. So I bought that, but I wanted to do cosplay for a really long time. I don't genuinely remember exactly why. I guess maybe because I hadn't seen any Steins Gate stuff in previous years, and I fucking love Steins Gate. And I was like, yeah, I can do a Ruka cosplay, and
for some reason I don't remember that cosplay. Or maybe
that's fine.
Was it the red and white?
Well, yeah, it was the kimono. I gave you the shoes from it.
Oh.
Yeah, and...
I still have the shoes.
Yeah, because...
They're broken.
Yeah, I mean, they were... By the end of me using them, they were a little bit scuffed. By the end of... I think... Oh, I got them back briefly on the day I got my ass grabbed. And I was using them that day, but it was like walking around all over the place and outside and on gravel at a convention that was really kind of weird already and then got worse the next year. But yeah, they did not survive that very well. So...
Are you shit-talking or...
What?
Con?
I'm shit-talking AlterCon.
Probably shouldn't have said the name.
Why?
I kind of don't feel like calling out specific I have had bad experience with calling out.
I understand, but I mean, I would say the first time the reason I'm calling it a weird one was because it was like I was
no tables.
Okay, that got worse. That was the got worse part. It was weird because it was an open thing at like a market, and you're standing like.
Bob should have had an ironing board, honestly.
Yeah, like
we didn't have an ironing board back then.
It's like you're just hanging out in the cosplay with a bunch of nerds also in cosplay and selling like hentai, and then right next to you is a pavilion full of old ladies selling fruits and vegetables and like used clothes.
You know it's this year as well, right?
I know.
Are you going?
Probably. I don't know if I'm going in cosplay yet, but I am probably gonna go because I mean it's free. You might as well just go hang out.
Well, if I finish this cosplay, I might.
Yeah, I don't... Okay, I'm gonna be real. I don't know if I would put, like, a nice self-made cosplay into that convention, though. Like, in that area. Remember? Because, oh, right, you weren't there, but it was extremely goddamn packed last year. Like, unbearably. Like, you walk into this area that's supposed to be open in between the booths.
Right.
But there is no other area. It is the only area, and... Because more people are aware of this convention.
The first time I went to it.
Oh yeah, we went hunting for sunscreen.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I wore techno.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that picture's horrible. There's like one picture of me wearing like some other cosplayer's wings with a trident.
Oh, right.
You can't see my neck. It's like it blends into because of the lighting. It was horrible, and also my makeup was horrible.
That year, I was wearing that same cosplay, but with a pink wig. Because I was...
the one that I styled.
Yes, the Naruse one. Because I was cosplaying Naruse, and then I cosplayed him, but like, with a kimono. But I was hanging out with a person who was in... what is the name of the fox from Naruto? That cosplay.
I'm aware.
Ninetales. And... I'm pretty sure, and there were a bunch of people that wanted pictures of us together, and I'm pretty certain all of them thought I was Sakura. Like 90% sure all of them thought that. I mean, the next time I wore that cosplay... Kurama, yes. The next time I wore that cosplay, I was in a booth and a person walked up to me and was like, "Oh my god, are you Natsuki from Doki Doki Literature Club?" So... That cosplay has had a 0% recognition rate, which is great.
I think I have always been recognized in that. No, actually no.
I mean, what was your first cosplay then?
Okay, that will depend. like, the answer to the question will heavily depend on, like, if it's my own, like, owned cosplay,
or someone you...
First time me cosplaying.
I'm gonna say first time you're cosplaying at all.
Thing is, like, a week or two prior to me cosplaying this character that I'm not gonna name currently, I was like, oh my god, cosplay's cringe. All cosplayers are nerds, they suck, they don't have a life.
Well, I mean...
it's so cringe. And I was like a closeted racist back then as well, because like, I think, actually no, before that, because like, I was into K-pop already by then, but like, before I got into K-pop, I was like, ew, Asian people. Right? Mm-hmm. Go on. But then it continued to me being like, ew, cosplayers. Okay. So I got invited by Nox to go to WinterCon. Mm-hmm. And I was supposed to be a helper.
Right.
And for some reason, I was like, you know what, I have this character. That like was from like an RP or something. I was like, I might as well cosplay her.
Yeah.
I had bleached pink hair, and I was wearing like a military set, like a pants, black shirt, whatever. And I was like, this kind of feels like shit. I don't like this. And that's like the first day at the con, I ran into a cosplayer that I'm not gonna name because I technically have bad blood with them. And they were cosplaying the cosplay that I wore for the next day, which was Yunogasa from Mirai Nikki. And I was like, you know what? Usually I judge things only when I have tried them. So I asked them, hey, could I borrow the wig?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I found, like, I had like a half skirt, like a K-pop half skirt where it's like, you know, like, has a slit and then like you pin it like a belt that I had made myself. And I found like some shorts, something like a black shirt, whatever, wore the wig. I had brushed it out. And then the next day I went into that.
Right. And that changed your mind on cosplay?
Sort of. Basically what changed my mind was like I was running around, I was kind of enjoying the fact that I got to wear a wig because I had for the longest time just wanted to find an excuse to wear a wig. Because I had wanted to cut my hair short. Yeah. And my mother would not let me. Right. And I was like, I could wear a wig if you don't like my short hair, but my mother doesn't like wigs either, so. So that was like my excuse for like trying out how a wig feels, whatever, and I was running through the con to get to that friend. I was cosplaying like a completely different character that day, and what I heard while I was running was a man, I think I was like 16 at the time, but there was like an adult man in a corner. As I'm running, in Russian, he screams, Yuno, where's Yuki? And I registered what he had asked me only after I had like already gotten to like where I was running. And I realized I'm a whore for attention.
That there you go.
That tracks heavily with like how I currently treat cosplay. Yeah. But that was the reason why I started cosplaying.
I mean, honestly, like, I was always like, I always went to the conventions before I did cosplay. I always still went to them because I was like, oh, there's other nerds here and everything. But I went there and I never interacted with anybody, almost ever. At least, except for when I went to like the gaming section, like once or twice I had some kind of fun interactions with someone. But like, I get that because actually being approached by people and taking pictures with people and being like, oh, I'm also in this fandom and like that. Actually having that attention made me feel way more like I belonged there. Yeah. Because, I mean, I was one of these people, but I at the time I was also like, look around and you see just like random pasty guys. Maybe they're holding a camera, maybe they're holding their phone and awkwardly taking pictures of people, or they're hanging around the Dakimakuras, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to be one of them.
Yeah.
I would rather maybe be one of those weirdos as I point to you running past with a fucking pink wig, holding a knife or something.
No, I wasn't holding a knife.
You should have been.
I had I think blood splatters on my face.
Yeah.
That I had like somehow made with like makeup. I think. I genuinely don't remember how I actually did them.
Yeah, and it's like that just. Ever since I felt way more comfortable at conventions and just like, I don't know, it just feels a lot nicer to be.
That kind of leads me into, I wanted to ask that as a second question,
okay.
Like why you continuing to cosplay. But I guess you already answered.
Kinda, yeah, I mean, it's that plus, it is a case of like, so far, I've mostly, or I'll almost, okay, except with the exception of Hanji from Attack on Titan, exclusively cosplay characters that I'm like, nobody has ever bothered cosplaying this character at any convention in the Baltics, at least. Like, no one had... Like, I was actually shocked when I did Ruka that I walked around. There were a bunch of... Apparently, I never realized because it was just teenage boys wearing, like, lab coats. They were like, I'm actually doing an Okabe cosplay right now. And, like, one of them gave me a Dr. Pepper, which was chill. And it's like that, and then obviously nobody recognized. I did Hank from Madness Combat, and one person like recognized who the hell that was. And my partner and I, we did Pip and Ceres from Hellsing. And again, it shows you how much people know these characters that I've chosen. When a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, you're Ceres from Hellsing," to my partner, and then I'm like, "Yeah. Hi, I'm here as well. I'm Pip. I'm also from the same series. I died, and I go in that person, dead."
So that's your answer to that question.
I think I had an answer in there. Yes.
Somewhere there was a thought somewhere there.
And I think I mean, is your answer basically also already one you gave that you do it because you're attention for? No.
No. That was where it started. Actually, like, my entire cosplay journey has been, like, a self-discovery moment, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Before I answer that question, though, I would like to ask if you have ever considered performing.
Yeah, I do want to do that. I just want to also have time to, like... I mean, all my cosplays so far have been, like, 80 to 90% bots, so I would like to do a cosplay that is at least half made by me and people I know, and then maybe do a performance. There are ones I want to do, so yeah. I mean, yeah, but like...
Unfortunately, I think like for the nearest cons, you have to have 80% made.
I figure, yeah.
Because the only things that you're allowed to not have made by you, as far as I have read in the rules, for the nearby conventions, wig, socks, shoes, some accessories, and obviously underwear. Obviously. And that's about it. Yeah. Like, the rest, like, as much as you can needs to be, like, handmade.
Damn.
Which, like, if it's below that, you have to mark it as, like, bought.
But does it count as handmade if you, like, I don't know, thrift something and then alter it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
But I think it also, like, will determine the points that you get for that, because, like, how much alteration have you done in order to get... Also, like, how closely you have it to the reference. Because, I have established this that, like, quite a few judges will take the picture and just, like, go around you and carefully examine every single detail.
Yeah, I mean, I figured, but at the same time, I think if I did the performances... I would either not be aiming for, like, getting, awards in general, but if I was aiming for anything, I would probably be aiming for performance ones, as opposed to, like, cosplay ones, because it's, like, separate.
Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah.
There's, like, quite a bit of rules when it comes to, like, stage, but honestly, I think, like, as long as you're, like, comfortable with yourself and, like, you're having fun, then, like, that doesn't... Basically get rid of the anxiety and forget about the crowd in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah, or imagine them all in their underwear, which can be store-bought.
Back on the topic about...
Yes, yeah. Your answer?
Do you actually know what was the first cosplay that, like, was officially mine that I owned?
No, I don't.
So it wasn't store-bought.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have never had a cosplay that I had store-bought. Which usually people go from store-bought to, like...
Yeah.
I had I had ordered my first ever wig, and then, like, I made the, like, big top piece that I had, someone had given me the skirt for it.
Mm-hmm.
But my first, technically, cosplay that I had, like, officially was, a cosplay of Julia from Fairy Tail.
Ah, no, I think you've mentioned it, yeah. Yeah, it just blends in me.
I was still studying fashion, so I
Yeah.
had, like, one teacher that I asked, like, hey, could you help me, like, make this, but in a different color? And then she helped me, make the pattern, and, like, we made the top piece. Basically, it was, like, the, kimono type, like, top piece. The horribly westernized kimonos that we have for cosplay. Mm-hmm. That was the vibe.
Yeah.
And I still actually have the picture of, like, that cosplay on my Instagram. Because I still like that picture. I had taken it in my dorms with, like, an umbrella that I had borrowed from someone. So it was, like, partially borrowed, partially, like, handmade. And I went with that and no one recognized me. Which was kind of... I should have expected that purely because I was going with my own interpretation of the character. Mm-hmm. Just a blue-haired, curly wig. Yeah. Girly with, like, a westernized kimono walking around. Mm-hmm. So no one recognized me. And then, I think the cosplay that I wanted to do afterwards was Naoto from Persona 4. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But COVID started.
Yeah.
So that kind of left everything on pause.
Yeah.
And then what happened next was, like, the thing that solidified that, like, yeah, I actually enjoy doing this. Mm-hmm. During COVID, what was the big thing that people were constantly talking about?
Wait, during
COVID.
The big thing that people were talking about?
Yeah, purely for, like, wasting time so, like, it passes quicker. It was Minecraft.
Oh.
Right.
Oh, that's what you... Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So, like, that's how I got into, like, Dream SMP. That's how I got into Technoblade more specifically, because the rest of them I didn't really care all that much, and,
good.
I really...
In hindsight, good.
In hindsight, yes, really good, because I didn't... Okay, except for Tommy.
I don't know, I've heard him called certain things recently. Referred to by certain terms.
Yeah. I also have heard him joke about it a lot. Because Shut Up, I'm Talking podcast exists. That I have binged. Good watch, I actually recommend it.
What is it? Who is that?
It is Tommy and, why did I... Jack Manifold.
Oh.
Yeah. For some reason I was thinking of Jacksepticeye, but he also was in the podcast, so like not that
Oh, okay.
But basically it's just them talking about, like, experiences, life experiences, stuff like that.
Alright.
It's a pretty decent watch in general, like, just as, like, to get to know them, I guess.
Alright.
Not really attached to the pod. I don't think, like, I'm to the podcast attached as I was to, like, Techno's live streams.
Yeah, fair.
But, I don't think he can do any wrong anymore. I don't think he can be cancelled anymore.
He can't go on any podcast, though, sadly.
Yeah.
Unless he's, like, recorded something else in the background and it just shows up, like, as a voice board. As a soundboard.
No, I don't think he did.
Damn.
No, it was like, I think last year was, like, more videos released from him.
Yeah, that was the point, like.
But I think it's the last of it.
Yeah.
I think it was Tommy who uploaded them. Anyway, so, like, because I got into that was, like, the first cosplay that I was trying to make myself. Mm-hmm. Techno, more specifically.
Yeah.
So I had the first thing that I ever made was the cape. Mm-hmm. Which went through, like, 3 alterations, I think, in general. I still have it. It's in that suitcase. Mm-hmm. You probably saw it. It's just laying around, just unopened. It has been unopened for, like, 2 weeks. No. months. Sorry, 2-3 months roughly. I don't know. I don't want to count. But like, half of it was bought. Like I just had something like it was like a closet cosplay moment with like the cape handmade, and then I slowly started making everything by myself except for the shoes because I did not know how to make shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So I had slowly made the pants. I had like a belt for him. Blah blah blah. And then when he passed, I made my diploma work for fashion design, which was like a collection of techno shirts based on like the eras of the Dream SMB, and that was the shirt that I started performing with.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I think like my reason for performing in general was like, oh, you know, like I have social anxiety, like really bad. Exposure therapy. What's the best way to get rid of anxiety? Get on stage. That's what I did.
And you're like the one person that worked for somewhat.
Yeah. Because I think, like, way back when I couldn't even, like, go outside to go to the store.
Mm-hmm.
Alone. Especially, like, I was terrified of going outside. I was terrified of, like, talking to people. And I was like, oh yeah, I met a new person. How many people that I talk about to you do you actually know?
Like, no as a concept, or no as in I've met them?
I guess you can give the answer to both of those.
Actually, give 3 answers. As a concept, there's like, you will, every time like you message me in a longer message, there's going to be a name that I just look at or hear and go, Who? Who are you? And when did you show up? But then it's also just me being the way I am, and I'm just like, I'm like, this person isn't pivotal to whatever is going on in like previous things you've talked about, and I'm just like, they're just gone. Yeah. Gone like whispers in the wind. And then to the second point with people I've met, I don't know, like, I do think like most people that I've interacted with on like a friendly level in the past like half a year, most of them have come through you.
Yeah.
That's.
So I think the exposure therapy worked is the takeaway from this.
Yes, and the third answer of how many people I could recognize if like I encountered them, and like in the first minutes I was like, oh hey, and then I have to say who they are to their face. Mm-hmm. Like 5 people maybe. I regularly speak to like 2 people though. That's my partner and you. That's it. I don't talk to people.
Because you don't answer in the group chat. You barely answer.
I've muted the group chat. Listen, there was a point when I was like going to sleep and you were like talking about, like actively talking about some show. I think that's how I remember it, or just talking about something going on, and it just goes buzz buzz next to my ear, and I go, And then I've just kept it like that because, I mean, I regularly still check WhatsApp because, like my sister sends me, like, chores or whatever, and I look through them, and it's like, then I'm like, oh, someone's posted something in here.
You answer quite quickly in the group chat.
Yeah, because, it's coincidence. It's coincidence because I just pop open and I'm like, oh, this upsets me.
Like that comment that I posted today.
Yeah, I mean, it was less, like, it was less being upset and more like based, like if you're...
It's kind of funny though, like it was literally about people trying out candy, and there's just that goddamn comment. I was just casually, I was like curious over the comments, and I opened it and I said, that's like the first thing I see. I'm like...
Yeah, I mean, it's like, we can give context for that, but half of the context is Latvian grammar.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's, the reason why I'm not giving context is because I'm too scared that it's, like, a bit too much.
What, snorting candy powder?
Yeah.
That part?
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Basically, the comment was that, like, there's this candy, it's not even, like, a Latvian candy, it's just imported from...
Yeah, I mean...
I don't remember where. But it's, like, a sweet candy on the outside, like, the syrup candy, I guess. Like.
Yeah.
And then on the inside, there's powder in it.
Yeah.
And it's like a fizzy, like really strong fizzy powder inside.
Yeah.
And when you like eat the candy, then like over time with like mixing with saliva, it kind of starts dissolving, and then like the fizziness starts coming out. So it's like a bit of a
Yeah, I forget what the Western name for it is. I forget.
I genuinely don't know. But basically, the comment was someone saying that in 5th grade, a friend of theirs or an acquaintance had opened the candy, snorted the powder, and then was crawling on the floor, screaming in agony.
Yes.
But when it's said in Latvian, it's much more funnier because Latvian people are just some other breed when it comes to the language. Because I think a lot of people have said that I'm funnier in Latvian as well. Even though I don't speak Latvian, it's my dad.
Yeah.
I blame my dad. My dad has a really great sense of humor.
I mean, what I've realized is that everything is funnier in Latvian because take any song and try and translate it into Latvian, and it'll just. You didn't even have to sing it out loud, did you? You just imagined any song and you took the lyrics.
I just imagined I can't even describe what I imagined. The nicknames, you know.
Which one?
Baby in Latvian, for example.
Baby? Babes? I've heard muzzlelit as an equivalent, but babes is... I don't know why I first imagined it's calling someone babes.
Because it's similar.
That's more for context, that's that would be like...
It would be
it would be like
song
calling...
that you could technically translate right now. What would be the funniest one?
I just want to quickly point out, calling someone babes is more like calling someone a toddler. Oh, you're my little toddler. Oh man.
Justin Bieber's song, Baby.
Okay, that's just because it's... Okay, yeah, let me do that. Baby, no, muzzlelit, oh, muzzlelit, oh. I don't know the rest of the fucking lyrics to that shit, are you kidding me? One thing that's entered our, brain rot with me and my partner is translating... you know the Hamilton meme about touching balls?
No.
The original is, if I can prove that I never touch my balls, will you promise to not tell another soul what you saw? And
this is in the room when it happened.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Touch your balls. Okay, and we've been translating, we were walking home from the store and doing it to random songs, and that one broke us, because translating that into Latvian, ja es varu pierādīt, ka es nekad neestiku savas olas.
Bombas would be the correct one.
Well, no. How often in Latvian have you heard someone refer to their balls as bombas? Yeah, we use olas, like the band. I don't get why.
How did we drift from a cosplay conversation to this?
I don't know, but have you
happens.
noticed how in every advertisement in Latvia right now, if they need a celebrity, they either get uolas or citizan? It's every time.
Citizan is the superior option, honestly.
Yeah, honestly,
Eat Your Salad
is a banger. It was fucking robbed.
That Jojo's opening mixed with Eat Your Salad.
If
no one's gonna understand this.
If you haven't, if you don't know what we're talking about, look up on YouTube. You don't need to know how to spell citizan. Don't worry about that. Look up Eat Your Salad Eurovision for the original experience, and understand that song didn't make it past the.
No, but I think it's better with the Jojo opening.
You can look that up as well.
I don't think it's posted anymore.
Well...
I think I got removed. I still have it on my phone.
Damn.
Yeah.
You hold it up to the mic like this and just...
Well, unfortunately, I don't have the ownership of that because it's...
Also, your phone is the one recording.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking, I should look that up, and then I forgot that I was still recording with my own phone.
It's a good song, though. It's unironically... Yeah. Gaļas vietā es ēdu... dārzeņus un kaķīšus. That's another joke that no one is going to get here. And it's good because it was terrible. It was terrible.
It's a terrible joke. Oh my god.
Yeah. The point is, Latvian is goofy. It's but the person in that comments was it actually managed to be two different people the first person that had their classmates but snort candy powder used a phrase in Latvian wrong that doesn't like make sense to translate into English. The error. It's sort of like it's equivalent to in English saying, "Oh, he was in pain because of this," but saying it like
basically
he was in.
Is incorrect.
Yeah, he was in because of pain. This.
Yeah.
So it was like that because
I think my biggest pet peeve is when you all of the entire group go. Me and blank is going to are going to blah blah blah. When it should be the other
blank
way
and
around.
I.
Blank and I.
Oh, hey, I have it on mute. I'm not a part of that, and also more importantly, I don't go anywhere with people, so I couldn't have
your partner.
Yeah, but I don't brag about it.
So I think I have heard you say that in that order as well.
I mean, I don't know if because I tried to pay attention to that. I might have used it in the correct way, because you're supposed to use that in like, oh, they... Because if I were to say, oh, these people hate me and this other person, that's correct. Yeah. But there are also actually people that overcorrect and say, oh, they hate him and I. Mm-hmm. Which is fucked up, because then you're saying, oh, they hate I.
Yeah.
Which is also stupid.
Should we go back to the topic of cosplay?
Yeah, I think you were in the middle of giving a response somewhere, and then we just trailed off. So
I'm trying to remember it.
Okay, we were talking about how this was the techno was like the first cosplay you had, and I think that was like pretty much the last thing we did. Oh, right, it was it's still on the topic of why are you still doing it?
Why I'm still performing?
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just the feeling that I got that first time that I performed. Mm-hmm. I had a lot of people that thought that it was purely because, like, I want my ego to be boosted even more with, like, the amount of prizes I could actually win, technically, right? Yeah. And in reality, it's just, there was that one con in Estonia that we went to that I was pissed off we didn't win in. Mm-hmm. But like a month, or maybe even a bit less later, I talked to my partner and I was like, I'm kind of glad we didn't win. Yeah. Purely because I remember when, like, me and my cosplay buddy Seabird, when we left that stage, we were so angry at ourselves. We didn't even have the results. We didn't even look at the videos that people were sending of the performance to us. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, we filmed your performance, here you go. We didn't look at them. We went outside for a smoke and we started talking about the things that we did wrong, right? We were like, oh my god, the floor was slippery. Oh my god, we didn't sleep enough the night before. Oh my god, we finished the cosplays a bit too late. The prejudging went horribly and the performance probably is horrible as well. We made so many mistakes. And because of that, like, we did not enjoy being on that stage at all. And I think the moment we got back to the hotel, we fell asleep almost immediately. Yeah. And then we looked at the performance, like, because we got curious because someone had posted it on TikTok or something, or, like, posted on Instagram stories. I was like, wait, I don't remember it looking like that. And then I actually looked at it and I was like, actually, it looks pretty good. But the feeling's not there, and then we didn't win, and I was, like, upset about it. But then later it was like, good. Good we didn't win. My ego would have been too high for my own good if we would have won with such a horrible performance. Yeah. Because someone told me that they thought that I was, like, saying that I was mad that people, like, we didn't win and someone else won because, like, I thought that the other people didn't deserve it. I was like, no, everyone deserved it. Like, everyone who won that day deserved it. But I was upset that we weren't in the lineup. Right. But then, like, I think someone asked me, like, okay, who would you take out of the winners? And I was like...
No one.
Literally no one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I can't think of
how it is.
So, kind of glad about that.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just kind of cruising. I know that, like, a lot of people who perform or like try to be more competitive with their performances. Their end goal in some way is either to end up international or to start being asked to be a judge at cons. And none of those are like my end goal.
Yeah.
Because my end goal is something that I could literally do right now. Which is host a panel.
Yeah.
I could literally like sign up for that, like, I don't know when the forum gets released, and I don't want to do it alone.
Right.
And the reason I actually only recently figured out why I really want to do a panel as like my end, like, here you go, I have achieved everything I wanted, right?
Yeah.
And that is my actual first introduction to cosplay, which was 2015, 2016, roughly. Which was like back in when it was not that competitive, when it was like, you know, more for fun, but like there's still like professional cosplayers that are not like as good as they are now.
Yeah, in Latvia it was a very silly era up until like 2018 or so.
But I had never went to a con, I had never like been exposed to it. I just had gotten into anime. And it was Soul Eater, that was like my first anime, I have talked about it before. And there was a cosplayer, I think they're still active, called Uptown Cosplay. I actually recently looked them up again to see if they're still active. I think they still are. And they were hosting a panel with one of their friends, or two other, I don't remember. But it looked genuinely fun, because what they were doing is they were, you know, in character, answering questions to the crowd, and then doing like a little games with like, you know, insert like a noun or like a verb in a poem, in a fan fiction, or whatever the host decided to select.
Yeah.
And they were also doing games that required acting.
Right.
And again, not the best cosplays. Well, they were good for that time.
Yeah.
But it was so enjoyable. I had watched those panels like 2-3 times. Horrible recording in general, because again, you know, 2016, right?
Right.
But I enjoyed all of that so much that I wanted to do it myself. It's like, this would be fun.
Yeah.
And the kind of, that's why, like, this is like the end goal. Like, I actually want that. At some point, my goal was also to be recognized as a cosplayer.
Right.
Hates.
Oh.
And I actually had that phase. And now I don't. because the issue is when you start building your, like, following on, like, any social media based on, like, only a single cosplay instead of, like, the craft that you do.
Yeah.
Once you change it, you're pretty much done. Because when I started changing from techno to, like, other cosplays, people would try to find me as techno, they wouldn't, so they were like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of similar with whatever media you're doing, YouTube, Instagram, wherever.
Yeah.
And whether you're doing it cosplay, video content, music, whatever, if you've been doing one thing for a prolonged period of time and you change into something else, people are like, what the fuck are you doing? How dare you?
Who are you?
Who are you? How dare you? It's, and like, that's, even though like, a lot of the other stuff I do doesn't get much in terms of views, I try to like mix things up like early on, because I don't want to be goddamn ninja playing Fortnite in 2030 or whatever. I don't want that for my life. I don't want to do that. So, yeah.
I'm still, like, I have been absent from TikTok, which was, like, my main platform for a while.
Yeah.
Purely because I actually, you know, I'm stuck with the idea I want to change up my content while sticking with the old one, but I can't figure out what exactly I want to do for my new content.
Yeah.
Currently, like, the whole topic about, you know, currently how that scene need to advertise that, how do we do that, is, like, a question. But I really hate the TikTok usual advertisements of, like, this is my small business.
Is it in the robot voice?
Yes.
Of course it is.
Or it's that song.
This is my new business.
This is my new business. Please like and share. And I don't want that. I actually want the advertisement videos to be kind of like either educational or like something that is like, you know, you can have a takeaway from it.
Yeah.
But I can't figure out what exactly. Because at one point we had filmed the process of us making like the stuff for Etsy. And we were like, okay, like what do we talk about? And every single topic I wanted to talk about was something that definitely would get me hate. And then that joke of me getting cancelled in 2 minutes from my first video would become true.
I mean, I haven't mentioned, I actually want to start making TikTok videos in Latvian about politics. So...
I think you mentioned that.
Yeah, because right? It's doing the same stuff that's everywhere in Europe, where it's like, TikTok is fucked. It is completely fucked if you're just like a 16-year-old, or like, more relevantly, an 18-year-old. We have an election this year. If you go on TikTok, it's like, it's just schlessers. And I started by saying we'll talk about Hitler.
So we're just circling back.
Yeah, it's cyclical, like history.
Yeah.
I would make the reference to the one historian, like philosopher, whatever, that my fucking ancient history professor always jerked off. But I don't remember who was the guy that talked about history being cyclical.
Okay, back on the topic about cosplay.
Oh yeah, that's it. Well,
how would you usually pick your cosplays that you would go with?
Honestly, unless I'm discussing like with someone like like Pip and Saris, like with my partner, we discussed it together. Honestly, pretty much randomly. Pretty much like, I kind of feel like doing this, or reason I cosplayed Hank recently from Manus Combat was I borrowed the glasses that I used, the red glasses I used in a couple of videos from Nox. And I was like, these could kind of work for this cosplay. And I started looking for things that worked together with that. Like I got a coat and all that, and I borrowed a coat and I got this and that. And then I didn't even end up using those glasses because I found goggles that worked better. Yeah. But I was just like, I have this thing that I can use for the cosplay, I'm gonna get the rest of it. That's sort of it. And like, for Hanji, I think it was just like I was getting back into Attack on Titan at the time, and I fucking love Hanji, and once again, not a cosplay that people do. And I was like, canonically non-binary character that only gets cosplayed by women. I'm gonna go ahead and switch it up.
Yeah.
So, how was that?
That's a pretty solid way of going about it.
Yeah.
I kind of miss the easier days where I could just... Yeah, what's in my closet? Okay,
yeah.
How's my haircut looking right now? It looks like this character. Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I used to do that. I kind of miss those days. Now I have like... Half of my wigs are not even on a stand. One of them is in a box currently. Because I can't display it because it's too heavy.
Yeah. I mean, I recently cleaned my closet out, and I literally unearthed the Ruka wig from within its bowels, because it was beyond repair, and somehow it just ended up back in the closet, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? It's like pulling out a gremlin from the movie Gremlins from your closet. So...
I have a wig in one of my drawers that is just tangled with everything else that's in the drawer.
Yeah. Was there anything else about cosplay that you wanted to talk about?
I don't know. My way of picking a character usually is quite basic, I think, compared to other people.
In what way?
I'll get into some sort of media. I'll get heavily attached to the character, emotionally, and then I'll be like, okay, I'll cosplay him. Yeah. That was the same way with Techno. We just really liked the way the character was, I guess, written or, improvised. And, the analysis side of it and all of that. And I was like, yeah, I really want to cosplay him.
Yeah, I guess...
Personality, everything that revolves around lore, that would, attract me immediately. I would be like, yes, there's that click, I'm doing it. And then after Techno, the next cosplay, I think... Was it not the Chinese one immediately after? I think there was no in between.
Cheyenne? The egg creature?
I didn't do Cheyenne. I did, well, that's also Minecraft. I did, what was her name?
It was a very flash in the pan thing, I think.
It was
one cosplay.
That was a closet cosplay, honestly.
Yeah.
That I did for, like, to appease a different cosplayer. So I wouldn't really count it because I wore it once and then I was like...
Yeah.
I gave the wig to someone and that was it. That was the end of that.
I think it was... Yeah, I think you went right to the...
After Minecraft, I think it immediately went to the...
Yeah, it's the logical conclusion.
Yeah, I went to
Minecraft
Celia and that took me a year to actually finish.
Mm-hmm.
One Jojo's favorite with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when we were looking at the oh, you want to advertise?
I mean, it's like right in front of us.
Well, the camera can't really see it. Oh my god, we're gonna advertise Matthew Berry, who is one of my friends now because of this prize that I got. Because actually, yeah, I can talk about that afterwards as well.
Yeah.
The great person that Matthew Berry is. But I think if you look at my performance history, then it is Minecraft, and it immediately goes into like Chinese cosplays.
Yeah.
So Celia took a year altogether with someone, and now it's a Genshin cosplay. Which is so contradicting because there's like so many issues that I have with Genshin in general. That was like one of the topics I was like, I could talk about that, but it's so...
Well...
There's like a guarantee that I'm gonna get something for saying my thoughts about it. So I never did, but I might. Because I talked about like that with Terene Forge, which is the person that I'm working on Etsy with.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, well, more views because more comments.
You know what? My recent discovery about Genshin that I want to briefly mention is that my partner and I, we did the waifu or lifu like phone game where you switch through, like flick through characters like, and then we ended up, our mutual waifu ended up being Revy from Black Lagoon, but the more important part I want to talk about is Barbara's last name is Peg.
What?
Yeah, Barbara Peg.
I wonder if her sister's last name is also...
What's her sister's name?
Jean.
Jean Peg?
You know, this Barbara, my partner and I yesterday talked about Barbara.
Yeah.
For context, Barbara is like one of the older characters because she's from the like very first region. And she's still a pretty good healer, but the amount of people that make her into like a main DPS that like just out like the bigger enemies is hilarious to look at because this little girl is just like, yeah, and then the entire enemy just immediately falls down and dies. Yeah. So no diss to Barbara, but that last name is just...
I know it's
what makes it worse?
Okay, yeah, what?
What makes it worse is she's from the region of Mondstadt.
Okay.
They have a church there, she's like part of the church, whatever.
Yeah.
I have not run into this NPC. I was trying to find him at one point, but I couldn't because I was too lazy to Google where the hell he is.
Thank you for the censor. It was very important.
There's an NPC that talks about drinking her bathwater and just being like obsessed with her. She's 14. I think she was 14.
This NPC really wants to be pegged, I guess.
And then there's another NPC that is like a female who's like just heavily simping over another playable character, Diluc. Mm-hmm. And you walk past her and she's like, oh my beloved, I had the dream about you that we were married. So something about that region is just, they have a really good population of fanfiction writers.
Yeah.
They're doing great.
It is written with 2 G's. Which is like a real surname, Simon Pegg.
Well, currently the cosplay that I'm working on, right?
Yeah, okay.
Furina.
Yes.
Genshin.
French.
Yeah. Her last name, well, her full name is Furina de Fontaine, but It's fascinating to me that her last name is literally the region's name. Because she's from Fontaine.
Wait, what's her full name again?
Furina de Fontaine.
That makes sense. It's Furina from Fontaine. De Fontaine.
But she's the only character that is named that. Like, in game files.
Is she, like, royalty? She, like...
Do I know and not know enough about French, like, names? I mean, I don't know enough.
I mean, it's just... I think it works, like, the part can just be, like, you're from this place, like...
I've never heard of that. Well, maybe I'm wrong.
But then I'm thinking maybe I'm completely wrong, because it's Jean d'Arc from Arc.
Well, one of us is the idiot here.
And it may be the French.
Maybe.
Macron's so fucking hot.
Okay.
The way he manhandled Trump.
Can you not? I'm trying to avoid political topics.
I'm gonna cut it and put it in a separate Patreon video. Just all the...
We need to, now that when we do end this podcast, we need to end it with, and the rest of the cut clips you can see on Patreon.
Yeah.
But back on the topic of cosplay.
Yeah.
The judge's favorite. Right. Judge's favorite, Matthew Berry choice. He was actually quite upset that it was his name on the prize instead of us. He said it multiple times. But I didn't know of him until we won the prize, and I was like, I want to look him up. He's from UK. We went, that was our first performance in general in, like, me and this person, like, in Seabird. Because we had not performed before. I think Seabird was more of like a solo type of performance person, and I was more of like a duo.
Yeah.
And I had went fresh like from Minecraft to Chinese men, and we were just like, oh my god, Steven Universe audio, great. And I had worked on these cosplays for like a while, just crunching heavily, like for 2 months. And I was like, okay, either we win something or we win nothing, and it's gonna be fine, and like, whatever. And I loved being on that stage. This was before the horrible performance that we did, because my ego got inflated with this, and I was like, oh, we're gonna do great, even if I don't take a proper, have a proper sleep schedule before the con, even if it's like outside of the country. But we performed, and I was like, the thrill. We screwed up, but it's great. It's fine. And then, like, people were, like, talking about how, like, they really loved the performance. They just were absolutely, like, just all over it. And we were like, if we lose, we lose. If we win, we win. Like, whatever. We're going to still watch the ceremony. And I was like, I mean, if hypothetically we get called on stage, we weren't wearing cosplays for this. Oh no, I was wearing techno, because I was like, wouldn't it be funny if hypothetically we got called on stage and I was wearing the cosplay that got me like pretty decent following on TikTok, and basically sparked the creativity to actually continue cosplaying.
Right.
That's why I was wearing cosplay. We were sitting in I was like, okay, how, like, if hypothetically we get called up, I'm gonna be cool about it. I'm gonna get on stage. I'm gonna be like, yeah, we won, like, bowing to the crowd, like, thank you so much. And then we actually get called for judge's favorite. And my heart starts racing. I'm about to throw up. I'm like... So, like, if anyone finds that video of us getting on stage and me just hugging Seabird and one of us crying, don't at me. I don't want to see it again. I'm going to start crying again from that.
Oh.
But, like, afterwards, because we had, like, mutuals, I guess, and Matthew just texted us about, like, the mistakes that we made, so why we didn't get, like, any third, second, or first place. And, it was just kind of led into, like, us just kind of chatting from occasion. Like, he's genuinely, like, a really great person. Really sweet. Saw his cosplays fucking amazing. Yeah.
Yeah?
That's how you get friends, I guess. Just go perform and then see what happens.
Yeah.
That's pretty... As long as you have, like, the self-confidence or, like, the correct way to carry yourself with it.
Yeah. I feel like we've been going for a while.
1 hour and 3 minutes.
I had great perfect timing there, because I think we should probably wrap it up then.
Yeah. You can cut out the part where I was like, Patreon, you know, and then like just show it here. Flashback.
Future Walter.
Comment ça va? Oui, c'est vraiment le fun.
I just did that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was like I just went through time and space.
Yeah, it was... Well, there's also like...
Flashback.
We also don't know if that's still recording, by the way.
Yeah.
We don't know. So I might have... For the past 5 minutes, for all I know, I could have done... You know the South Park thing with the Canadians where they move their heads like fully open like this to talk?
Yeah.
I might have to do that. Do I have to do that?
Yeah, unfortunately you do.
I wonder for how fucking long will I have to do that, but that's gonna be such a fun bit to edit.
We're lying.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Still recording.
We might... I don't know when we'll do the next one. I think canonically we need to do it after you have a haircut.
I'm not getting a haircut though.
Oh, well then once it reaches like...
I can wear
like
a wig.
here.
I can wear a wig and we never
Yes.
tell anyone.
Yeah.
I have a wig for that.
Yeah. And
I have multiple wigs for that. Next time you're gonna see me in a Jinx wig.
And I'll shave completely bald. But grow out a beard.
I'll grow out a beard. You'll shave your beard and your head.
I'll shave my head, I'll shave my beard, and glue my beard to my head.
No, you shave and I outgrow everything and then, it looks like I stole your hair. That's gonna be cool. I'm not getting a haircut though.
See you in the next video. Eventually.